Hey everybody, Livingston here. Today we're jumping into another Twilight Zone episode. This time it's Season 2, Episode 8, The Trouble With Templeton. Came out December 8th, 1960, and it's another episode I haven't sat down and watched before. But before we jump into that, let's jump into the comments section and see what you had to say about last week's episode. Now this is what Blue, Black, Purple had to say about Lateness of the Hour, which is Episode 7 of Season 2. I think the woman who played the daughter also appears in the Twilight Zone episode The Hitchhiker. The man who played the father appears in the episode Will the Real Martian Please Stand Up? I did not know that, Blue, Black, Purple. So thanks for commenting. Mildred Pierce 4506 says, love me some Twilight Zone. I do love me some Twilight Zone as well. It's actually a very good show. I'm enjoying going into these episodes and kind of critiquing them, but I'm not really critiquing them. I actually just kind of reviewing them and kind of going through and seeing how these episodes came to be and what the trivia is all about. And I'm loving just kind of going into these stories and getting lost in them for about 23 to 25 minutes depending on the episode. I think Season 4 we're getting into like hour-long episodes, but we're not there yet. We still got a ways to go. P Sparks 3419 says, it's perplexing that the network would experiment with videotape when they had a winning formula shooting the Twilight Zone on film. You picked up on it immediately when you stated something appeared different with the depth of field. It would be interesting to see the other episodes that were shot on videotape to see how they compare. Agree, this was a dark episode with the plot twist at the end. Yeah, I mean, I knew that she was probably going to be a robot, but I had no idea that she was going to end up being like the maid because the parents didn't want to have anything to do with a life without, I guess, at least the physical appearance of the daughter, because it wasn't really her anymore after she became a maid. Very sad, but Jethro 1963 actually came back and said the show's budget was in deficit, so the network thought shooting some shows with tape would save money. While it did save money, the amount per episode was barely worth the effort and the experiment was canceled. Well, I'm kind of glad it did because I didn't like the look of that episode. A lot of depth of field, but I just wasn't into the videotape, and it's just not film, and film is more like what we're used to when we go to the theater. Peace Park said, thank you, sir. That certainly explains it, but we're going to go to Ben Rositas 8068. They remade her into a maid. Yes. Yes, they did. It sucked. Not a great ending to the... Oh, actually, no, it was a great ending to the episode, but not a great ending for her as the character. I guess the majority of the episodes do have a bad ending for the main characters, typically. It's very rare to actually have a character that kind of walks away clean with no issues involved. Usually they learn a lesson or something good happens to them, but I would say, maybe 5 or 6 episodes out of the 30-plus episodes we've watched so far where they had walked away in that respect. But yeah, usually a bad ending for everybody. Robert Jewell 9727 says, I have a little discomfort watching the videotape episodes, even though they're lit well and the image itself has no texture like film does, and Twilight Zone should have loads of atmospheric cinematographic textures for it to work rather than look like a strange play where all the light sources feel broadly artificial. However, having whined about that, it's a good episode primarily because of how good Inger Stevens is as Jana. She manages to express both naivete, compassion, and alienation effectively in a short span of time. Yeah, that's true. I mean, they get through a lot and really make you feel for these characters in these Twilight Zone episodes in a short amount of time, and it should teach anybody who is into filmmaking or just storytelling in general how to do it when it comes to actually setting up character in a short amount of time and moving forward and telling a very good story with no fat on it whatsoever. It's all meat and potato storytelling, and I dig it so much. Jethro says, as a former TV guy, I love the videotape black and white episodes as they are so very few remaining. And you're right, they do look like a stage play. That's part of the reason why I like them. To each their own. It's a very different look. It does look like something you're watching something on a stage or something, and hey, people like plays, people like going to the theater like Broadway, and I have liked some of those shows as well. I'm more of a movie guy, but I do enjoy a Broadway show if I ever do go to one. I mean, I have seen some of them on tape, not really tape, DVD, streaming, Netflix, whatnot. But when it came to this episode, seeing that kind of experience on a television screen, I would prefer to see that in person more so than watching it on TV. I want to have the film experience when I'm watching it. But hey, everybody likes what they like, you know. Akira Kurosawa said never liked the change of the camera. Yep. See, I mean, it's just. I can talk to probably 100 people, and half of them would say they loved it, another one would say they hated it. And you might have a few in the middle that goes, I didn't even know that there was a change at all. But anyways, let's jump into the episode. But before we do, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to continue on to episode 156 of The Twilight Zone. And I'm looking forward to continue on that voyage, so let's get going.
The Twilight Zone.
Tilt down. Hope they don't say he's like 32. Because he certainly looks more 50-something. In today's era, he's more like 60-something. Interesting how a person back then looks way older at 50 than they do today. You know, like Wilford Brimley from Cocoon. He was like, I think, in his mid-40s when he was in Cocoon. That was 40 years ago. Wearing high heels at the pool. Stylish.
Good morning, Mr. Templeton.
Morning.
A new guest this week, Marty. Has he been here before?
No, sir, he's new.
He's new, too?
Yes, sir. Every hour on the hour.
So is that the daughter that brings home a different guy every weekend?
Mrs. Templeton is not very discreet these days, is she?
Mrs. It's a wife.
Perhaps she's waiting for the day when these won't do what they're designed to do.
Keep him from dying.
When a man my age marries a woman her age, he gets exactly what he deserves. I'm old, Marty.
Oh, Mr. Templeton, you can never be old.
Aren't we all?
They say that when a man achieves years, he achieves reason and content. I haven't. I shall rehearse this play and it will open. I shall cover up the years with makeup. And when it's over, they'll all say to me, "You were wonderful, Mr. Templeton." And the stage manager will see to it that I'm properly delivered to you, so that you can properly deliver me back here, so that I can go back there and do it all over again next night. All I'll want will be to go to bed, Marty. That's the best place for me. Sleep, oblivion.
That's not good talk on the Twilight Zone. Oh, this one just learns his lesson and doesn't really enter a bad fate.
I haven't had many contented moments in my life. I do recall some. Long ago. Laura, the freshest, most radiant creature God ever created.
The one that got away, huh?
18 when I married her, Marty. 25 when she died.
Ooh, not in a good way.
Why did he have to take her? There are some moments in life that have an indescribable loveliness to them. Those moments with Laura. All I have left now. Don't distress yourself, old friend. I'm all right.
Pleased to present for your consideration Mr. Booth Templeton, serious and successful star of over 30 Broadway plays. Yesterday and its memories is what he wants, and yesterday is what he'll get. In order not to be crushed, Mr. Booth Templeton will escape from his theater and his world in another world that we call
The Twilight Zone. Hey. Commercial. The Angry Lovers by Spencer Combs. Thank you. I would probably just still open my own door.
After 12, the boy wonder won't like it, kiddo.
Who is the boy wonder?
Arthur Willis, directing.
You must be mistaken. Duff Meagher's our director.
Canned him last night.
Why?
And I wanted to drop by this morning and let everybody know that I'm personally interested in this thing.
I don't actually know him.
I'm Sid Sperry.
Sid Sperry.
Remember?
No.
My money is backing this play.
The investor.
I'm rather forgetful about names.
Just so long as you don't forget your line.
It's a sinister laugh if I ever heard one. No oaking. All right.
But I'll say it now.
Oh,
and
smoking.
expect you have been hired to act in it, and I have been contracted to direct it. Make no mistake about what we are here to do. I will direct this play my way at all times. Is that clear?
Yep. He's kind of a jerk.
And control that boy right from the start. Give us a good play.
Us, Mr.
Sperry, Templeton, Sperry.
Yeah, I forgot too.
Some of us are young. Some of us are old.
He didn't like being called old.
But there are 3 significant dates in the life of a play. The first day of rehearsal, opening night, closing night. The last 2 are related and dependent upon the first. Therefore, the first day of rehearsal is an extremely important date.
Okay.
Everyone to be in his place and ready to work at 12 o'clock sharp. Are you ready to work with us, Templeton?
Yep. Better say yep.
I asked you a question. I expect an answer.
Oh, he's scared.
Well, speak up, Templeton, speak up. Come back here, Templeton. Booth, come back.
Why are you scared? What happened? Okay. What did he do? Is it just because he's famous and people know who he is? He's very good at portraying like, what the hell is going on here? The Great Seed, 1927's big hit. Different vehicle, different time.
Booth Templeton in The Great Seed, 1927's big hit. That's more than 30 years ago. Barney Pfluger. Barney.
Is he alive?
Hey, Mr. Templeton.
What year is this?
1927.
Yep.
Your wife just phoned and said for you to meet her at Freddie Iacino's.
Wife?
But Laura's dead.
No, she's not.
Well, she's the best-looking ghost I ever saw, Mr. Templeton. No offense, of course.
We never get a chance to see the actual girlfriend. Guess she's not that important. So does he get another chance? I mean, I hate that he's going to like find his wife and then suddenly she's ends up, as a dream or something along those lines. Or maybe he's in heaven. Maybe when he stepped out the door, he got hit by a car. I don't know. This is making me wonder, and I like that. Hey.
Hello, Booth.
Freddie,
You know what?
it is you. You're alive.
Sure. What'd you expect?
No, you're not to be here.
Can't be too careful these days. All the time somebody's wanting a raid or something.
Was it a speakeasy, huh? Pretty good at keeping the noise down.
What'll it be tonight? Steaks or chops? Well, your wife's having the Kansas City.
She isn't at our usual table.
She's over there.
Hello there.
No, nothing to eat tonight, Freddie. We're not staying very long.
Oh, hi.
Hi, Booth. We didn't wait.
Barney Pfluger.
You know me.
Laura, darling.
Booth, my goodness. Come on, sit down.
Does she not love him?
Great tonight. It's juicy. See, I told you.
Laura,
What's the matter, honey? You look worried. How many times have I told you to take your makeup off before you come in here?
Makeup? Let's go someplace else. Somewhere where it's quieter, where there aren't so many people.
I want
I want to talk to you, Laura.
Yeah.
Well, I want to have a good time.
But I have to talk to you, Laura.
About what? About what?
I don't know for how long or even how I got here or who put me here, but I'm here, and I want to make good use of the time. I want to have you alone.
Booth, don't be dull.
Oh, you better order.
Yeah, he's right, honey.
Now, listen to me, you two.
Oh, it's so hot tonight.
Not even giving him the time of day.
Well, I'd be glad to get into a cold tub.
I'm not so certain of this earth or of anything in it right now. Please listen to me, listen.
Yeah.
Something's happened.
What has happened?
Please, try to understand. This isn't makeup. Why, you are my one and only best friend. But both of you have been only memories for a long time.
Wow. Just came out and said it.
I have you back again. You're alive.
But for how long? What's going to happen?
It's just as if you never died, either of you.
How'd they die? Think I'm joking.
Understand, don't you? Oh, sure.
No, they think he's an idiot.
Do you understand?
Sure. Come on. Let's have a good time, huh?
Why are you so different?
Well, that's the way I am, Booth. That's the way it is.
Is this a different reality? Or is he just remembering things differently than what they were?
What did you expect?
For you to believe me.
I don't know. You were my love, everywhere, at all times. Why, we couldn't walk a street or sit in a restaurant without everybody knowing that we were in love.
Are you finished?
I guess so.
I don't like what you've become.
All right. This is when you storm out.
Shut up. Laura, come with me.
Nope.
You're a silly, old fool of a man. That's for me.
All right. So what happened? Oh.
Why don't you go back where you came from? We don't want you here.
That's sad. She seems heartless, but I'm curious, is this how she was, or is this just something that... Oh, what is going on? What the heck was that about? It's like it's put on when he's there. It's almost like he's in a play or a...
Oh, dear, come on.
No, please.
Okay, who's he going to meet here? Is it going to be that guy, like the owner of this place? Or is he back in reality? Nope.
Did it happen?
That's the script.
What to do when Booth comes back? People in speakeasy. Enter Booth as Laura throws back her head and laughs too shrilly. You're a scream, Barney, a real...
Huh.
The same. To know him is to love him. Sit down, old chap.
Exactly what he went through.
Why don't you go back where you came from? We don't want you here. They were acting for me. They wanted me to go back to my own life. I'm Levitt.
Templeton,
I'm back with new perspective.
are you in or are you out?
I'm in.
I am definitely in, and it is definitely Mr. Templeton, especially to one so young as you.
Now, wait a minute.
Excuse me, Mr. Sperry, but I never allow anyone not directly connected with the production to attend my rehearsal.
Just who do you think you are?
He's got a name. He has experience.
Now then, shall we start rehearsal?
I'd like that, Mr. Templeton.
I've just had a most remarkable experience, young man, but I'm going to tell you about it anyway, someday. You know, you were right. The first day of rehearsal is the most important date in the life of a play.
Mr. Booth Templeton, who shared with most human beings the hunger to recapture the past moments. But in his case, the characters of his past blocked him out and sent him back to his own time. Mr. Booth Templeton, who had a round-trip ticket into the Twilight Zone.
Well, that's it. Very interesting episode. I didn't know what to expect going into it. I didn't know what to expect actually maybe 3/4 into this until he started walking back into that theater door at the very end and realized he was back in his own reality, and he pulled that script out of his pocket, and he came to realize he was in that reality in a different time, in a different place, probably when he was in his youth, but he was still the older version. They thought he was in makeup. And it looked like that she was having a good time, his wife at the time, but it turns out it was all put on. It was all fake. It was not the reality, and she wasn't being mean. She was just trying to push him away back to wanting to live again. I don't know if this was like maybe heaven and this was just a taste of what it could be at some point maybe, or what maybe they were all getting together to push him back to wanting to be a decent person. And it wasn't like he was a bad person before, but at least they would wanting him to go back and live life to the fullest in some way. Still leaves me with some questions. I wasn't sure exactly how to take the ending. I guess it's up to your own interpretation of the episode. It could be he walked through that door and it was heaven, and everybody was putting on a play for him to show that he's still alive. He's still capable of doing the things that he wants to do in life, and he should look at it from a different viewpoint, different perspective, and maybe find somebody that actually loves him for him. And he took more pride into being an actor when he walked back through that door, more so than when he was at the beginning of this show, beginning of this episode, before he actually walked into 1927, 30 years prior. So I really enjoyed this episode, and looking forward to the other ones coming up in the near future. But let's jump into some trivia and see what it took to get this episode off the ground. At the beginning, Templeton watches his wife beside their swimming pool. This was the very same pool used in the Bewitching Pool, 1964, the very last episode broadcast. Okay, I guess we'll look forward to that. That's still a ways away. The swimming pool was used for a third time during the series in Queen of the Nile, which is also 1964. This episode takes place in 1927 and 1960. Also, the person who plays Arthur Willis is Sidney Pollack, which I didn't even know or realize until I read the cast list of this. So it was very interesting to see Sidney Pollack as the young director in this. He's passed away. If you don't know who Sidney Pollack is, he's actually directed quite a few movies. One of them being Tootsie. If you haven't seen Tootsie, it's with Dustin Hoffman. Also has Jessica Lange, Terry Garr, and Bill Murray is also in Tootsie as well. He also directed Out of Africa, so that's an awesome movie. But he passed away, I think. I'm trying to remember when he passed away. It was, I think, in 2008. Wow. 16 years ago. Didn't realize it. But let me know, comment below what you thought. And while you're at it, don't forget to subscribe. I will be going over your comments in next week's episode. And until next time, see you later.